Hello and welcome, it's Pete here, and today we are talking about all things summer, specifically the Sizzix Summer Collection. There are some fantastic dies, embossing folders, stamps, stencils, of course, and one of the very best embossing folders I've ever seen. And, you know, we do set a high bar, so that's something to look forward to. But it's very much in the spirit of the season. I kind of wish I'd worn a Hawaiian shirt today, but maybe it's a bit early. Still a bit cold outside in North Wales. But let's take a look at some of the fantastic products that we have to offer. Okay, firstly, we have flowers and ferns. And this is a die set. You can see the approximate size there. But this, as with all of the floral collection, this is kind of, you can see the artist's hand at work. It's got a very painterly feel to it. So it's really usable. Now, look at the colors here. We've used summer colors, but you change those colors up. It could be autumnal. It could be spring-like. It could even arguably be festive, you know, with these gorgeous ferns as well. But it's a great size, and all these dies layer together seamlessly. Really, really clever. And you'll notice, particularly with this die here, you can see that not only does it cut the shape, but it embosses it as well. So those emboss lines tell you where to layer up the next pieces, so there's no guesswork in that. So the next piece just sits on that perfectly. Really cool set. We do have some cardstock that go with these as well, which I will show you in a little while. Next up, we have painted florals. Now, very similar to the dies, but we can do more detail with these because they are actually stamps, specifically layered stamps. So they are marked numerically so you know what goes with what. You can put them together, you can use them individually, you can use them alongside the dies and indeed the embossing folders. All of these are designed to work together as always and by themselves. That's a really, really nice collection. And again, you've got this really cool kind of watercolor vibe. So whether you're using pigment inks or whether you're using dye inks or even distress inks or water reactive inks, you can get a cool watercolor effect with those. And you know, as I always say, we will be showing you a lot of projects in the coming weeks and months. So check out the usual places like the Sizzix website. Also, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, all the usual places. Now this is gorgeous. This is a stencil. It's one of the most complex stencils that we've done. But of course, it's a layering stencil. And you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, very, very summery. Here is the artwork that was actually photographed for the front of the packaging. And there's a lot of depth, a lot of detail, so much fun. But again, in changing the colors, you can create whole different worlds to suit different seasons. But yeah, really, really lovely stencil set. And it's a different format. It's not a square. This is rectangular. Now, you don't have to use the whole thing. You could cut it there, for example. You could cut it as a strip. It's all about versatility, but you know, switch up the colors, have a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun, this stencil. I have used it myself, so I know that from experience. Now, while we're on the subject of stencils, this one was designed, well, I remember Jen, our good friend Jen Odberg, trying to get the best out of this. And she worked so hard. And it has paid dividends because what a gorgeous layering stencil set. That was the one, again, used for the artwork, for the cover. You can see 4 layers. And you know what? If you just want to use the ferns without the background, you can do that. If you want to use the background elements without the ferns, you can do that. If you want to switch up the colors, wow, how about that? What a difference it makes. You know, but you could, again, you could go autumnal, you could go spring-like, you could go almost festive as well with that. So whatever the season, even though these are Sizzix summer, they will work all year round. And finally, for this section, we've got some wonderful rubber I had two of the same set. What was I doing? We got these wonderful rubber stamps, and they all have a kind of a floral theme, really cute phrases. Some of them are really awful puns, but in a good way, you know, in a good way. I believe in you, born to bloom. Let your dreams blossom. You are blooming lovely. You grow, girl, grow positive thoughts, sending hugs to my best bud. Wild about you. You are one of a kind, and what's up, Buttercup? A lovely size, and of course, stylistically, they are designed to work with all of the other dies and stencils that you've seen thus far in this collection. Really, really nice set. So from here, we move on to our, now the next one, think of the coastline in the summer. Think of, or a maritime theme, but it's all the creatures that we find on our rocky shores, in the rock pools. You can almost smell that saltiness with this collection. But as with the florals, it's all about global trends. So this collection is very much trend-led, and you will see a lot of the motifs that we're using coming up in stores, in fashion, in patterns, in wallpapers, absolutely everywhere. So get in ahead of time. Now, I'm going to bring these in, and we're going to start with the die set. And you can see it's very, very stylized. There's so much detail in the individual elements that go together to make this crab, for example, and we have coral as well, and some lovely seashells. So there are 11 dies in total, and it's called Ocean Medley. Now, obviously, the colors we've used here, you can change those up. You can make them look more naturalistic. It's entirely up to you. You can go monochromatic with a single color and just build up the layers to get that sense of wonderful depth. Then from there we go to Ocean Critters, and this one is a gorgeous lobster. But now, if you've ever seen a lobster in the wild, they are really super colorful. But again, switch up your colors to match whatever you're doing, your decor. Because it's not just about paper crafts. This is about home decor items. This is about framed items. You can use them in your journaling. You can use them in your scrapbooking. Because we all love a good summer holiday. So this is something that you're going to be using to preserve your memories from the summer in the autumn and beyond as well. So we've got that lovely lobster and the coral, and the size is great, but there's all the different individual parts which go together to make up that gorgeous, gorgeous lobster. And then continuing with the theme, You're My Lobster. Now, there's a certain TV program, and that phrase is quite famous, You're My Lobster. And what it's about is a lobster's apparently mate for life. So when you say to somebody, you're my lobster, that means for all time, which is a lovely sentiment. But again, this time, we're not just looking at die cuts, we're looking at stamps and dies. So some of these die cuts, they don't make sense until you go to cut out the stamped image. That is absolutely gorgeous. I simply adore that set. But combining, of course, stamps and dies is the way to go. So that's You're My Lobster. There are 14 dies and 10 stamps in that set, believe it or not. And while we're on the subject of stamps, how about ocean elements? Now, we've talked a lot lately about our stamp and spin tool. Of course, we have a stamp platform in our stencil and stamp tool, and these would be absolutely ideal. Now, of course, these are colored in. The actual stamps will just be the black outline. The coloring is all up to you. But really cool, again, continuing with that theme, and these would work to create, maybe you want to create a background of shells on which you sit your die cut, or you want to stamp on top of a stenciled image. Again, all designed to work together. Let's bring in that embossing folder, the one I was talking about, designed by the wonderful Kath Breen, and this is called Under the Sea. And if I just bring in a couple of examples. Now this one, you can see the detail. You can see the depth of this folder. It is absolutely incredible. And here, this is just black card. So it started out as black card, and then I used Sizzix Luster waxes. So I used the graphite silver, I used the gold and the copper to get these gorgeous, gorgeous effects. So check out those luster waxes. They really were made for 3D embossing, but that's a lovely folder. The depth, again, is awesome. So if you wanted to cut this up into individual tiles, if you just wanted to use a panel of this as a background to put on the edge of a card, if you just wanted to go white on white, that's absolutely fine, because the depth of this really, really does pop out, even without using any color. You could emboss this and you could go over it with your inks as well to pick out that detail. Gorgeous, gorgeous folder. Well done, Kath. That is absolutely incredible. Now, stencils. We are talking about stencils, or at least we were before. This is so simple, but it is absolutely one of my all-time favorites, because that background, you can lay anything on top of that. This one's called Seascape. This is an example of it using greens and blues. You can see the white, that foam coming through there. It almost whispers, like listening to a seashell, that lovely, that gorgeous flow, the harmony. Now imagine your die cuts on top of this, or your stamps on top of this, and you can imagine how beautifully this entire collection goes together. It really is quite incredible. And to tie it all together, we have these gorgeous stamps. And again, a lot of puns, but they're very much about the sea, about the ocean, about the seaside. So have a fantastic day. Ooh, sending best fishes. Ow, you are clawsome. Oh man, they're getting worse. Shell, yeah. You're quite the catch. Have a clawsome birthday. Special new home. You are so special to me. Seize the day and let's celebrate. See you soon. Oh my goodness. I would have been proud of those myself, and I'm no stranger to a bad pun. But that's it. That is our summer collection. Really cool. But of course, we're talking about color. We're talking about the colors of summer. We're talking about the colors of the ocean. And we do have a brand new card set. And this is our summer colors. There are 10 different colors. 40 in total, so there are 4 of each. And the colors are nautical blue, splash, aqua, fern, moss, pineapple, mustard, peony, coral, and salmon. And of course, these are designed to go with all of our other cardstock collections. You'll notice that they have this lovely linen texture on the top, but they're quite smooth on the back. So you really are getting the best of both worlds here. So for die cutting, for creating your base cards as well, absolutely spot on. So let's have a little flick through this so you can see those gorgeous, rich, warm colors. Isn't that gorgeous? And that salmon, that pink, that's going to fit in between all the other pinks in our collection. Really, really nice. So as always, these collections are so well thought through. Everything designed to work together and independently. And of course, they work with other collections that we've had down the years. So this is Sizzix Summer. It's starting to feel warmer already, isn't it? Really cool collection. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to find out more about it, of course, then go to sizzix.co.uk or sizzix.com, where all the collection will be there for you to see all together. Really cool. Can't wait to start using it, and we'll be seeing a lot of great projects from this in the coming weeks and months. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon.